So now we're going to look at the middle of your Part 2 answer, and I'll give you lots of specific skills you can use to describe things. When you're describing a person, you can use superlatives. Superlatives are the best, the worst, the most interesting, the most expensive, the most delicious. Superlatives are great for describing people. For example, he's the funniest guy. She's the smartest person. Again, share any information that's relevant, so you could continue by giving an example. He's the funniest guy I know. Last week, we went out and we had dinner, and he was telling me so many funny jokes and funny stories about his week at work. I couldn't eat my food because I was laughing so much. She's the smartest person I work with. Whenever we have a problem at work, I always go to her first and ask for her help because she can always find a solution. So give a superlative and then support it with an example. For describing objects, places and items, causative verbs, they're back. They were in part 1, the part 1 video. You can talk about how an object makes you feel. For example, my Xbox makes me so happy because when I come home after work and I'm stressed and I'm tired, it helps me relax. It helps me forget about my worries and just helps me chill out and unwind. So it makes me, it helps me. Causative verbs. If you want to use adjectives, you can also use strong or ungradable adjectives like amazing, delicious, beautiful. When we arrived at the top of the mountain, we saw an amazing, beautiful, panoramic view of the entire mountain range. The food in that restaurant is absolutely delicious and mouth-watering. Use a lot of adjectives. Describing situations and experiences, this requires a more specific skill, and the first skill is signposts. Signposts are like first, then, after that, finally. You have to use these signposts to help the listener follow your story and learn and notice when something new happens next. There are some examples here. First, then, and there are more complex ones like by the time we left the restaurant, by the time I realized my phone was missing, it was too late. In the end, finally, at the end of the holiday, in the end, I found my phone and it had been given to a local police station. So, at the end of the day, we were happy. You can also use adverbs to tell stories. Luckily, suddenly, eventually, after a long time, unfortunately. Those words at the beginning of a sentence can really help make your stories a lot more engaging for the listener, and also helps you use adverbs, which are a little bit tricky to use in the IELTS test. Finally, like in the PDF strategy, for future wishes and dreams, the future wish and the dream is in your imagination. It's hypothetical, so this is perfect for the second conditional. If I had the chance, I would like to meet Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. Again, that is just a dream in my head, so I will use the second conditional because it's hypothetical. This is a great way to finish an answer. If I had the chance, I would like to meet. You can also use I wish. I wish I could visit Japan because there are so many beautiful cities, historic buildings, and so much delicious food. I wish I could spend 2 or 3 weeks in Japan so I can explore and experience everything. Again, there's a lot of skills on here, so feel free to pause the video if you haven't already and take a look through each one. I believe these are the best skills to use with each individual topic. So if you're really shooting for a high score and you really want to show off as much as you can, try and use these particular skills in these particular topics.